Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Chatterbox Zombie.
And I'm Dante, and I didn't even know you were going to start that fast.
Too bad. Here we go. Right off the bat.
So I think I'm getting sick. I haven't slept in 3 days properly. Work is a dick. I am fucking destroyed. And here I am trying to do a podcast. This should be fun.
Yeah, and I hurt my back doing squats in the fucking Smith machine. Fuck Squiff. Damn it! Smith and squat is merged into Squiff.
Yeah, that's what you get for using a Smith machine.
Fuck the Squiff machine. Yeah, no, it's my fault. And now I'm an old man immediately. It's quite amazing.
I actually, when I fucked my back at gym, I was just mentioning before we started the podcast, so when I fucked my back, I spent ages I talked to the physio. I had to get a physio for a couple of weeks because I really fucking did it in because I was doing moving house at the same time. Terrible idea. And I tried to figure out what was going on. What it ends up being is my core sucked so much that it couldn't actually do the whole fucking the way all the muscles work together to keep your back up. So my back muscles were fine. It was just my core completely failed, which forced all of the weight onto my back, which fucked it up. So there's a fun little tip. When you do weightlifting, make sure you know what you're doing. It seems real easy, and you start increasing the weight, and then you destroy yourself because you have no idea.
Because you have no form.
Well, I had form, but the problem is my core, like, what do they call it, activating your core? My core didn't actually work with the rest of my body. So it had a whole set of muscles that did nothing, which meant I put more strain on the others.
Yeah. Like
Good
your lower
times.
back.
Yeah, exactly. And then I moved house that weekend after injuring myself, and I fucked myself for a month and a half, 2 months. Good times. Don't do it.
Jesus Christ, no, that's bad.
We are getting old when we're talking about this sort of shit.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I mean, I've got a few years on you, so shit, dude.
No, I'd like rub one out mid fucking cast before I was that healthy. Like, what? No, yeah, anime's good. Yeah, I like anime.
That's changed a bit.
Changed a bit.
Well, we don't have a lot to talk about this week. I have been flat out at work. I'm about to go to a Warhammer tournament that I'm running this weekend, and then I'm on holiday in 2 weeks. So I've had a lot to do. So my time and spare time has not been involving research or looking up for things in podcasts. I literally just want to play games, watch Luke Cage, and go to sleep.
And going to fucking PAX, aren't you?
Yes, I am. 2 weeks' time. It's going to be fun. That was me drinking a bit of water. Oh man, I'm charming.
I have also done little with my life and ways of gaming and anime, although they've just released the Overwatch Halloween patch thing, and that's pretty fun.
The funny thing about the Halloween patch is I saw absolutely nothing about the game, and I heard it all from Affian, who was describing it all while I was trying to do work today. And what he described was so good that I had to go look up Witch Mercy. Witch Mercy is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's very pleasant to look at.
Absolutely incredible. And there's a horde mode, and there's Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster in the form of Junkrat and Roadhog, respectively. It's very good.
And you know what the awesome thing is? They gave Soldier 76 a skin, just like a sort of recolor of his base skin, but he's got the red jacket and like pale white skin and zombie eyes, and he looks just like MJ from Thriller.
And yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be a Thriller.
Nice.
Nice.
Thriller. It's so good.
Yeah, I almost want to go back and play it, but at the moment I'm trying to find a game at the moment that's going to keep my attention without boring me, but just give me something to do after work just to chill the fuck out. And I'm kind of tempted to go back to World of Tanks. I tried playing Torchlight, I tried playing itsu, I tried playing a bunch of VR games. Everything's just too involved for me right now. All I want to do is just chill the shit out. So I've just taken to reading and watching TV shows, which is sad, but whatever.
Such is life.
Also trying to buy a house. Fuck buying a house. My God. So, yeah, my life is ridiculously busy right now.
I feel sorry for our listeners.
Yeah, but I want to talk about Mafia 3.
Oh, goody. Because, I love that kind of game. I really don't. It really bores me.
Actually, if anyone listens for any extended period of time, you would have heard my rants on Mafia 2 when that came out. And, that's how long we've been doing podcasts. When Mafia 2 came out, it was a good game. There was a blog I wrote about it once upon a time. It was an all-right game, rather. I shouldn't say it's a good game. The biggest problem was it starts with a hiss and a bang, and it's really cool. And then it starts fizzling out. You start becoming the gangster you want to be. And then you dress yourself up all fancy, you get the fancy gears, and you think, yeah, sweet, got the threads, good to go. And then they take all your money away from you. And that's kind of meant to be this pivotal moment in the story. Like, fuck, you fucked up. Now you got to do it all again. So you do it all again. And then they do it again. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then you have this weird shootout scene at the end, and the game finishes, and you're like, it felt like the game started, got to halfway, and then they just ran out of ideas.
Perhaps it is a elaborate and sort of overproduced metaphor on what it's like to be an African American in a white man's world.
Okay, that was Mafia II, which was 1946 rather, whatever it was. But now, this is exactly the same. It's a game that has a very cool theme. The post-Vietnam era war. It's very cool. You have these awesome music, these awesome cars, these awesome environments, this big open world, and the game does exactly the same thing as Mafia 2. It starts out really cool, and then everything becomes a grind and a pile of wasted time, basically, which is a real shame because there's so much promise in an environment like this. I don't know why. It's one of those things, like, they must develop the game, get all the way up to this point, put it in the hands of playtesters, and playtesters must just go, are you serious? Is this the actual game? And then they look at the time frame and go, well, we don't have a chance to change it, so we just have to release. It's just poor planning from the start, which is it's a damn shame is what it is. It's a real damn shame. I wish these sort of games were designed properly. You know, not like, I want to say The Witcher style, but we talk about The Witcher a lot, but they genuinely designed the game start to finish as best as they could. People need to do that more.
I heard something about one of the earlier Mafia games where the open world was just massively empty. You'd be driving for fucking ages. It's not GTA where just, you make your own fun and shit.
Yeah.
And the cops were on your ass if you didn't obey, like, actual fucking parking and traffic laws. Like, if you ran red lights or just zoomed up the fucking left-hand side, then you would actually get dipped.
Yep. Same in Mafia 3. If you don't obey traffic laws, they will go for you. Which is one of those things that most games abstract because it's kind of pointless, but at the same time, it's pretty funny. So it means if you know there are cops around, which are on your radar or whatever, you have to kind of be a little bit more careful.
You gotta drive normal.
Yeah. So realistically, the amount of code that would have had to gone into that is just insane, and it doesn't give you a huge amount of value, but at the same time, whatever, it's kind of fun.
Well, it's one dimension of it that's got over other games in terms of realism.
Yeah, pretty much. I get it is just novelty, and there's actually something I wanted to bring up about novelty because John Carmack, this is one hell of a segue. John Carmack, who created id Software and went on to work for Oculus, and obviously has a pretty good history. If anyone knows John Carmack, you know what I'm talking about. He talked about VR developers, and he said the term they're coasting on novelty. And I fucking love this term. I love that phrase. It is so succinctly defines the VR right now. Because we know there are a lot of good games in development in VR right now. There's a couple of really good early access games, but the 90% of them are just novelty value. Like, oh, you have hand controllers. Why don't you play this game? You got to throw balls at each other. Or Basketball Babes is a game. Paradise Island, where you go look at girls on a fucking beach in bikinis, is a game. This sort of novelty bullshit, waste of time. What you need are games that fully immerse the player in proper gameplay. And the one I've been playing, and I posted on the Tanky channel, is Raw Data. Raw Data is a game which is like an arena-based shooter. Not really. It's like a room with hordes of enemies that come at you, and it's genuinely terrifying. You have to pull your guns out, you have to reload, you can go melee sword, which is no, fuck that. You have to try and kill as much as you possibly can without dying, or your core that you've got to defend. And it's like, that is what a VR game should be. It's a game that fully immerses you to the point where it's actually stressful to play. That seems stupid, and especially after I just said I want a game that's not stressful. But it is genuinely stressful and fun to play. I want more of that. Not this, you can grab a basketball and throw it into a hoop because, yay, novelty value.
Yeah, but it's still a new tech, man. Especially to the larger sort of consumer audience. And whenever they release new tech like that, they're always just dabbling in the kiddie pool of fucking gimmicks at first.
Totally agree.
Look at the Wii. They didn't jump into good... In fact, to be honest, they never really did anything that cool.
Well, they tried to do things like Skyward Sword and shit like that.
Yeah, but at first it was just, come over and we'll play Wii bowling. You have to move your arm a bit. And if you don't want to, you can just fuck it up and then release the trigger button and the ball will go flying forwards and you get struck anyway. Because it's a gimmicky piece of shit.
But yeah, so this is where I go back to what John Carmack said, which was they're coasting on novelty. I mean, obviously there's novelty value in a lot of the games that come out early because they're quick to develop, nice and easy, and a cheap way to make some coin. But people aren't getting away from that. Because of that, what's going to happen is that all the people like me who've got the VR, who are absolutely loving the VR, it's going to slowly die out. And if developers start trying to just shovel out shit, novelty shit, it's not going to go anywhere. So the whole VR community and everything will just fall apart, which is exactly the opposite of what you want. You need people to actually invest and go properly into the game. But to be fair, in saying all of this, the VR game I get the most amount of time out of right now is simply a table tennis game.
Right.
Because I used to play table tennis with my mate when we both lived in the same place, and it was good fun, and now we live in 2 different countries, and it's the greatest way for us to get together, have a stupid chat, talk about shit, and play table tennis again, and it's great fun. Not quite perfect, because it's really hard to do curves and stuff like that, but, good times. I like VR. It's good fun.
I do like me some ping pong.
Table tennis. Ping pong's a brand.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. The Americans use the term ping pong because it was a brand over there. Kind of like how we use Vivid for permanent markers. They use Sharpie. We use Vivid.
Right.
Or Twink for whiteout or whatever. Or Tipex, as the British call them.
Tipex.
There's a random pile of fucking stationery trivia for you.
Fun. What do they call Post-its in Uzbekistan?
I have no idea.
It's an dog.
I will say that for those of you who have never met me, I have a thing for stationery. It's one of the few things I collect. I collect absolutely nothing in this world. I hate collecting anything that's not digital. But pens? Oh my god. If you want me to do anything for you for free, give me a novelty pen. Yeah. True story. I'm not even lying. You give me a novelty pen, I will do fucking anything.
You're going to Pen Island.
Penis land. We're 12 years old.
Well, at least that makes me feel like I don't like my fucking back. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Out of curiosity, because I'm totally out of shit to talk about already, have you got anything to talk about?
I feel like I did, but now I can't remember what it was. I was told to update to Windows 10 because there's the Windows Store and they've put out the Gears of War games on it, and that's really cool. I'd love to play the Gears of War games.
I would recommend updating to Windows 10. I actually don't know if you've missed the cutoff, but there's a free update period. So
no, it's still constantly harassing me to do it.
Yeah, I strongly recommend you do it because Windows... what are you on, 7?
Yep.
Yeah, I went from 7 to 10, so I had 8 on my tablet and I wasn't a fan, but Windows 10 is great once you get used to it. There are some issues with it, like it just turns off your computer and says, I'm updating now, which is quite irritating occasionally. There are ways around that as long as you know what you're doing, and there's a bunch of other privacy shit that no one's really happy about, but who cares? Good, I like Windows 10, it's fucking great, you should get it.
Is that right?
Yep, totally.
I'll work on it.
Cool. And you do need a lot of hard drive space for it to do it, but if it's already prompting you to restart, then you should have already filled up your hard drive with the 9 gig install or whatever it is. That's cool. Great information for people that actually listen to this podcast and don't give a shit about that. Gears of War, I do want to play. In fact, one of my fondest memories of gaming with my brother, of all things, is we were playing Gears of War 1 multiplayer, which was great.
Yeah.
Back in the LAN days when we lived together. It's good times.
That's a good game. It's a fun game.
Yeah, well, that's about as far as you can say it's a fun game, because it's just the most broest of bro games.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Halo's a bro game. Gears of War is like bro game. It's ridiculously bro.
Yeah.
Big people that have muscles bigger than their heads just running around grunting going nice every time they reload.
It's super bro. It's great. It's that kind of bro where they're not actually intelligent or gun nut enough to actually go look at guns and learn about them. Just like, bro, check out this awesome so it's like a minigun I got. Yeah.
Yeah, instead they just like hug walls. Well, actually, no, they don't even hug walls. They throw themselves at walls.
No, they have magnets on their backs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
That attach to chest-high walls.
Yeah, regardless of they're made out of metal. Magical magnets. I can't say magnets for fuck's sakes.
Magnets.
Magnets.
Okay.
Anyway, should we move on?
We should.
Yeah, cool. This is going to be a short podcast. Yay!
Very short. Very short.
Well, I want to talk about something which is funny to me.
Are we into anime already?
Yes.
Oh fuck, that was quick. Okay.
Weirdly, okay, so we know that there are myriad people on the internet. There's people of every description on the internet, and some of them are very, how do I say this without calling them a bunch of fucking autists? Very perceptive people, who are a bunch of fucking autists. They managed to figure out that Crunchyroll is subtly censoring shows. Now, I'm not talking about light bars or anything like that. What they're doing is it's quite a lot stranger than that. There's one show called Okusama, big long name, can't be bothered pronouncing the rest of it, where there's a lot of panty shots. And,
Okusama ga Seito Kaicho Season 2.
Yes. That. You know it?
Yes, I watched a few episodes of the first season and it was etchy to the point of being distasteful.
Yes, so obviously there's a lot of panty shots, and in the I almost said panty. What am I, fucking weeaboo?
I just remember watching like the first or second episode, and she moves in with him and stuff, and then they're doing the terrible, what I call anime foreplay, where it's kind of rapey, to the point where you feel kind of voyeuristic watching it, and then he just takes off her bra and he's just sucking on her tits, and I'm like, this is weird. I didn't know you should do that. I don't think you should. I don't think you should. There's better foreplay options to just going straight to sucking on her tits.
Maybe, buy her a coffee and have a chat with her first, and get things in the mood rather than just like, sweet bra, boom, not anymore.
Sucked on a massive fucking tits. I'm like, okay.
Fair enough, I guess. Whatever.
That's one way to start a show.
Anyway, back to the point. So when they do panty shots, there's the outline of the let's say, for the lack of a better term, the camel toe, because there are a million better terms, but I'm going to go with camel toe because it's funny.
Do you know what the male equivalent of camel toe is called?
No.
Frog's eye.
Frog's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because if you get the tight pants, it's kind of like bulgy and gross.
Like a frog's eye.
But the Crunchyroll is taking the camel toe, again for the lack of a better term, taking the camel toe out. They're flattening that out, which is the weirdest thing. So someone out there was watching the show and went,
there should be a line here.
Yeah, that vagina's not pronounced enough for my liking through those panties. And then when I looked it up and went, holy shit, they're actually censoring it. Someone on Crunchyroll's team, because it's exclusively Crunchyroll, is going out of their way to smooth those lines out. What a fucking job that'll be.
That show's purpose, like, it's softcore porn already. What the fuck? Why would you do that?
No one knows. It's the most bizarre thing ever.
That's a massive waste of effort. Fucking hell.
I know, right? But that's Crunchyroll. They're a bunch of tools anyway.
They are. I feel like the suburban mums of the world got together and were like, okay, we know how you like your anime. Your Japanese cartoons. We're going to try and be cool mums and respect it, but you can't watch the vagina. You can't see the definition of the labia, because that's too much.
Yeah, it's just not on. I mean, that's corrupting our children.
That is corrupting our children. The whole weird Japanese cutting off heads, tit sucking, whatever. That's fine, but no labia.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, I'm still... So I get a bad rep amongst my mates, because none of my mates watch anime, really. A couple of them do. And they all just assume that I like watching the ecchi shows and the hentai shows and stuff like that. I struggle to explain to people, I fucking hate ecchi. I hate anything like that. I find it vulgar. Like you said, that sense of gross voyeurism. I can't deal with that. I can't enjoy a show like that. Very, very few ecchi shows have actually caught my attention and I've actually enjoyed.
If that's all they've got going for it, then it's like, nah. But shit like Sekiro I fucking love, because they had cool characters and cool fight scenes.
Same with me with Samurai Bride for exactly the same reasons. I get the same when I watch TV shows. If a TV show in the first episode tries to have a sex scene, like Luke Cage did, which is what I watched recently, it's the best anime ever. It's about big black dudes in Harlem. It's not even anime. But when it opens in the first episode with sex scenes, that is designed to capture young adult male audience. I fucking hate that. Immediately want to stop watching, but I keep watching it just for the sake of it, and it's a really good show now. If any anime have that sort of level of ecchi, I am immediately turned off. I will not want to watch it. And it's the same with TV shows. Very few have kept me. Game of Thrones, maybe Luke Cage, and maybe one or two others. Every other show that immediately tries to open with that sort of shit, I can't deal with. I just won't watch.
Well, maybe Okusama's ga Seito Kaicho only did the whole tit-sucking thing because it wanted to hook its audience in. And then maybe after that it went on to explore and develop its characters in a mature and sensitive way.
It's unlikely, but if it did, that would make me interested in it.
It's very unlikely. It's about as likely as me getting these two fucking combs apart where they push together and now all the teeth is intertwined. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
So pretty likely.
Yeah. I actually gave this season of anime a shot though, right? I'm like, I'll try out some shows. All Out came out. I'm like, yeah, rugby anime, that seems fun. So I watched it and I'm like, fuck. Just no.
So I just got the first episode ready to watch. I haven't watched it yet. I'll try and watch it tonight, or at least over the course of this week.
You know when the whole cast is just populated by such predictable fucking washed, done to death anime archetypes, you could basically write the script from memory?
Yes, but that's every show.
Yeah. Well, it's every show minus any fucking interesting personality. I'm like, fucking hell, just play some rugby or something. Do you know,
Did they not play rugby in the first episode?
By the very end, they were considering it.
God damn it.
Yeah. So that had 2 exclamation marks after it, and then I moved on to Keijo, which has, I think, 7.
That's right. We discussed this last week.
Yeah, and we watched that trailer for it, which was fucking bonkers. If you've ever played the mini game in Dead or Alive Extremes Beach Volleyball, where they're on the little floating thing, the floating platform on the pool, and they have to butt bounce each other out.
Yeah.
It's a whole anime dedicated to that. And it's
you know, I
terrible.
gotta say, it's getting strangely popular because I was at the pub today and people were showing me that gif of that particular scene on their phones. Like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on in that show? What the shit? If this is reaching mainstream people's Facebook feed, something's going horribly wrong.
Butt battle, that's what it is.
Fucking, yeah, butt battle.
Yeah, butt battle. And then people came up to me and were like, Chatter, there's like a 5th season of Working now. It's a really good show. I'm like, you know why you think it's a good show? Because you never worked in a Japanese fucking restaurant before, have you? You work at that for 2 years and tell me it's fucking fun, you cunts.
Yeah, working or whatever the fuck it is. It's such a... I liked Working Season 1. If you don't know that, I loved Working Season 1. It was a great, fresh new show. Working Season 2, no. Working Season 3, okay, where are we going with this? Oh, God. And then I just bailed out at that point, because fuck that noise.
Is this season 4 or 5? Because it's
I think it's 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Season 1 was good because it was kind of... There was a whole pile of stupidity, and everything didn't make sense. And, it was
a
kind
super
of
cute and catchy opening theme.
Yeah, that's right. Some 111. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I'm going to go watch it on repeat.
Some 111, that one.
Oh shit, that was the best song ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to talk about something interesting that happened in the last week, and I know I'm talking really fast, but that's just how it goes. I'm trying to keep myself enthusiastic.
You do that, I'm going to rub this beard and facial wash into my beard.
I don't know how to respond to that.
It was a birthday gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
A guy jumped on Reddit today, onto the anime subreddit, which is kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes not, because a bunch of tools. A guy turned up and said, basically, my grandfather wrote a book once. He was quite a prolific author. In this case, he wrote a young sort of kid's story, like something that's interesting for kids to read. And he got an anime adaptation, which is quite weird, a Western writer getting an anime adaptation. God, I can't say those 2 words. Anime adaptation. Jesus. Anyway, the characters in the anime they maintained the identical names, and the identical names were actually the members of this guy's family. So the aunt and everything in the anime were actually his real aunt in real life, and his father had written about them all. Right. Anyway, his aunt had died, and he wanted to. He remembered this anime existed, and he wanted to bring it up. Most of his family didn't really know about it, other than maybe some royalties occasionally, and he wanted to bring it up and try and find it. Turns out it's very, very hard to find. Some guys on Reddit found the VHSs. Then they found that there was a Canadian-French dub, and now the internet is banding together to try and get a digital copy that is fan-subbed by everyone for this guy's family after his aunt died. And I'm like, this is the cool shit I love about the internet. It's so fucking cool. The guy was just like, if you can get a digital copy to me, or any copy to me, I'd be happy. And everyone's like, no. If we're going to give you a copy, we're going to do it fucking properly. We need editors, we need typesetters, we need everyone in here right now. And then everyone was just banding together, and I was just like, that's fucking awesome. Fuck your internet, you're the coolest thing ever.
That is very cool, but it's only the people on the internet that make it what it is.
Quite.
And most of them are assholes.
Yes. I have a lot of fun arguing with Americans on the internet. It's just the most fun ever, because they live in a weird society. I mean, we live in our society is fucking stupid, but we understand it, and we accept that.
I think they should have let 4chan win that Mountain Dew naming competition.
Hitler did nothing wrong. Gushing Granny.
Gushing Granny. Moist Nuggets.
Gushing Granny.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's their fault for, just letting it be a free fucking open thing. What do you think was going to happen?
it doesn't work that way. It's a stupid idea.
Like that Twitter bot that they programmed that took about 3 hours to become racist.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Good times.
The other thing I want to talk about is, and I know I'm talking a lot about VR right now, but you can imagine when you spend $1,600 New Zealand on a VR kit that you kind of want to play and talk about VR. I'm starting to see a lot of visual novels come through for VR, and a lot of anime games coming through for VR.
You don't say. I wonder why.
I'm very pleased with this. Visual novels in VR is kind of weird. Like, you can be in a room and everything matters. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not just some random pop-up with a 2D ass bitch. You can actually see the emotion changing. You can actually move around, interact with these people. Fucking cool. I like this concept. Not just the novelty aspect, but you know it can actually go somewhere with this. And my headphones are rattling, and this is really annoying. There we go.
Did you ever see that thing? I think it was on Steam. And it was like the Western version of a dating sim, a visual novel. And it was like, you're a guy and you wake up next to this chick and you don't remember her because it was a one-night stand and you were pissed. And then you have to decide how you're going to talk to her, and it's really weird. They did it on Game Grumps, I think.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but it was like the Western equivalent of a dating sim. Like, holy fuck, this is so much more mature and less colourful.
Yeah. But I will say, there's one thing I knew straight away. As soon as I saw the idea of VR and this sort of shit, I kind of knew immediately it's going to be used for disgusting and horrible shit.
Oh, for sure.
And the thing that came to mind, which is quite terrifying, is back in 2000, late 2000s? Shit, I can't remember. Do you remember the game Rape Play?
Rape Play.
Rape Play.
Rape Play. I am pleased to say I do not. That bodes well for my personality.
It was a big problem at that time, because basically, as you might imagine from the title, the entire job is to go around and do dirty deeds to people when they have absolutely no way of stopping you.
People.
Yeah. Well, women. On trains and shit. And you have.
Oh god, I just fucked myself there. I'm like, people? You mean? Oh, I didn't mean it like that, feminists. I'm sorry. Don't hit me with your vibrators.
Digging a hole you can't find your way out of. But I knew that I remember it being a big drama because you had hands and you could just, caress and do whatever. That's going to happen in VR, and boy, oh boy, is it going to upset some people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I actually, it's kind of one of those things. I know it's going to happen. It's going to be a train wreck, but I have to watch it. I have to see that train wreck, because by golly, feminists are way more aggressive now than they ever were.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, come on. Like, people have been fantasizing about the possibility of virtual sex and all that shit since when virtual reality was just a fucking concept. Like, it wasn't even at that stage. We don't even know about alien life, and we already make fucking, like, expensive video games about going out and fucking alien chicks.
Yeah, obviously, because, we're disgusting. It's great.
It's just, oh god, it's the pleasure trap. The whole human thing is just to eat and fuck.
That's for sure.
That's the human experience. Eat and fuck. And then you find out awesome things that make your brain feel good without having to eat and fuck. And then you get addicted to them, and they're all good.
I was going to say, they're all drugs.
They're all good. Yeah.
Anyway,
getting kind of sidetracked there.
Speaking of fucking aliens and drugs, we should probably end the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, we're at...
Is that what you're going to go do?
Well, if you find me an alien, I'll give it a crack.
Really?
No.
Really?
Fuck knows what STDs you get out of that shit.
Okay. Just foreplay properly, don't go straight to titty sucking.
Fucking full circle that shit. This has been Dante.
And Shadowbox Zombie.
Catch you guys next week.